So it seems like there's a lot of big news happening with the big three, and from what I understand, you're introducing franchises with the first 8 cities being announced, if I'm correct. And my
Yes.
question is, like, what are your expectations from this change in approach that you previously had, and what do you think would be the long-term benefit for the league?
Well, for 7 years, we've been, trying to expose the league to as many different cities as possible, just showing that the Big Three is a great league. The games are a great event. The only, one of the only leagues where you can see every player in the league at the same time. So it's pretty cool. So now we believe going to the city model, we're gonna unlock the fan bases that are huge in these 8 cities, um, as well as grow the sport worldwide so we can continue to expand. Um, so we just believe being planted in these major cities will, unlock a more ferocious fan base.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of allegiance to cities. And so, we feel like this is our path to grow. Um, our first path was just kind of an introduction to the sport for people. Now that people are more familiar with it, now it's time to grow the sport.
Mhm. And can you reveal which cities are you starting with? Like which markets are you starting with the franchises?
Los Angeles,
Hmm.
we got a franchise in Miami, Detroit, Chicago, Boston, Houston, Dallas,
Hmm.
and the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Hmm.
They're so close together. Having a team to represent that whole area is pretty unique and kind of cool because now we can play in each territory, so to speak.
Hmm.
And with cities having their own big three teams, are you expecting some type of rivalries maybe to resurface? And what type of impact do you think this will have on the fan base?
Oh, definitely. I think through the NBA, there's rivalries in basketball with cities already. So LA and Boston will probably go at it.
Hmm.
Um, Houston and Dallas, I'm pretty sure they want to fight for Texas supremacy. So, Detroit and Chicago, I'm pretty sure, they've had their share of battles, with the NFL, so to speak, even the NBA back in the day. There's a love-hate relationship between Chicago and Detroit um, when it comes to basketball. So we feel like there's built-in rivalries. We just have to really, hopefully these cities will welcome us with open arms. These are some of the cities that we've been to in these 7 years. So a lot of these cities are familiar with the game and they love it and they've supported the league. So we feel like we're starting with a great 8.
Hmm. And you mentioned, like, all of the cities that you mentioned are pretty much big markets within the US. Like, down the line, which other cities do you think would be a good fit for the league? Is there anything that you gave some thoughts about, or in terms of other
Yeah,
markets?
we believe we have an international league. So
Hmm.
we're looking at London, we're looking at Mexico City, we're looking at Toronto. We believe these cities could make sense in the Big Three because we play once a week. So there's plenty of time to deal with time zones and things like that. So, we feel like the sky's the limit. We just want to find some great owners in those cities who are committed to the 3-on-3 game, especially the BIG3's version of it. And then, we can rock out.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned something interesting. You mentioned the finding people who would be the owners. How's your, like, from a business perspective, how's your experience like finding these people? How do you, what's your pitch to them? Do they approach you? Do you approach them? Because it's, you have to get the people buy into the idea of, owning a team and seeing what are the benefits behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we put a great product on display for the last 7 years, and we've sparked interest from all over. Even NBA owners are interested in BIG3 and buying a team, but they can't because of the rules. So, sports, guys who want to own teams, some guys have felt they've been locked out of other processes with some of the bigger leagues like the NFL and the NBA. But they still want to be a part of pro basketball. So, the BIG3 is very attractive to guys who want to, have more control. Because, right now, how the money is going in sports, if you buy into a team, you're just going to be a minority owner. And, you're going to probably get some good seats and not a lot of say in what the team does and, the makeup of the team or anything like that. So, with the BIG3, owners can be extremely hands-on and really have a say in, the makeup and what kind of team they want to build in that city. So I think it's extremely attractive for guys who want to be closer to the action, not just, with a seat or owner's box, but actually the day-to-day of the team and who's playing and how they playing, who's coaching, even what the uniforms look like. So, I think the BIG3 is extremely attractive in that way.
Mm-hmm.